everybody. How long has it been since y'all have seen me? Whether I post a YouTube short, Facebook reel, or gone live or whatever. It's been a while, hasn't it? But before I get started, I do want to know how I sound because I think it's been a long time since I've streamed in my garage. And I was talking about how I think I've got this audio sounding, or this microphone sounding much, much better. And hopefully it should sound less echoey from here. It's just that when I'm at the table and I have microphones that are much further away from my mouth, then that's where it's going to sound a little bit more echoey. And I finally realized why I thought this microphone was being echoey was because my shotgun microphone was actually picking me up at the same time, and it kind of had precedence over this microphone. So for example, I think if I were to turn this up now, then I probably sound a little echoey, as the shotgun microphone is probably picking me up right now as well. So just not entirely sure. But what I did end up learning was that I basically have to mute the shotgun microphone whenever I'm here, and that echo should be gone. And then, of course, whenever I go out and play onto the table, then I would turn the shotgun microphone on, and then everything would sound echoey then. So hopefully everything sounds good and less echoey, at least here. At least that's one of the biggest things that I was trying to accomplish for a long time, and I think I finally got it. So this is great. Let's see. Before we get started, if you can do me a favor and please give my stream a thumbs up, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're on Facebook watching, please consider sharing my stream to your Facebook profiles so that way your friends and family can get to know me. And if they have no interest in pool, then after they watch me struggle playing straight pool, maybe they'll actually get interested. And then, of course, maybe share it to your favorite pool groups as well. And then, of course, if you're on YouTube, you know that liking the stream helps me out in the YouTube algorithm, so that way more people can discover the stream, maybe while I'm still live, or at least discover it after the fact. And then before we get going, I do have to make sure that I give my due diligence to my sponsors over here in the corner. I'm just going to go ahead and read them off and not just go off of what you see on the slideshow, because we'll always start with Onboard Sportswear. They are the company that makes the jerseys for the Mosconi Cup. And I actually need to get to a point where I'm actually wearing any of my onboard jerseys when I'm in here, whether I'm doing recordings or even if I'm doing live streams, rather than just wearing regular t-shirts. So I have a bunch of jerseys, and a lot of my teammates actually have a bunch of jerseys as well, because we customized our own team jerseys with our own logos, team names, etc. And I made a post about this a while ago on my Facebook page. So if you want to see what these jerseys can look like, or potentially what you can make your own jerseys look like. So if you think you might be interested in something like that, if you're playing on a pool league, or if you just want one from yourself, if you check out their website, onboardsportswear.com or onboardsportswear.us, if you decide to make a purchase, you can use my discount code LilChris10 and you'll get 10% off of your purchase. And then we've got what's behind me here, the Outsville Accu-Racks. These are templated racks that basically allow you to have a perfect rack every time. One can argue that, well, that means there's going to be some object on the table that you do have to remove, because it can come into play if you do happen to leave it on the table. But if you want a perfect rack where all the balls are frozen, so that way you get the perfect reaction of how the balls are supposed to spread depending upon how you actually strike the rack, then these are the template racks that you would want to use. If you visit their website, outsville.com, you can use my discount code LilChris, which is LIL''space CHRIS. You have to spell it out just like that. You can't say LIL''Chris, because then the discount code will not work. But use that discount code like you see on the screen right now. You can get 10% off your purchase. So TaomBilliards, I am sponsored by them. I use their tips. I use their chalk. I wear their gloves. You can see at the bottom of my pool table, I have a sticker down there. I no longer have a discount code with them, but they do provide me with materials as I do need them. So I want to give a special shout out to them. And then, of course, JFlowers, because I now shoot with JFlowers Cues. No, I'm not getting rid of any of my older cues, so do not ask, because you're not going to get them. I remember there's a bunch of cues that I've had in my lifetime that I never wish I would have gotten rid of. That way I could just have this nice collection. We're talking about some older Viking cues. I mean, I still have Viking cues, but I had some other older ones. I had a couple of Josses, even a what is it? I wish I really still had my old Steve Mizrak cue. That was one of like the very, very first cues that I ever owned. And I wish I actually still had that just for memories. That would have been great. Let's see what else. You know what? I don't think I saw one particular sponsor that I wanted to see on there. And that's because, yeah, they're not on there. I don't know why they're not on there. That's weird. Let me go ahead and add them. So hopefully that should take care of it, because last but not least, we have the ICA training system. I had done a live stream demonstrating the use of the ICA training system, and I need to do more videos on them because I have a couple of ideas of what I can do. But the so-called sponsorship that I got from that was that the creator of the ICA training system gave me the software for free, but I had to purchase a projector. And because of the amount of lights that I have here in my garage, there's the logo right there. Because of the amount of lights that I have here in my garage, I had to make sure that my projector outputs enough lumens so that way it can penetrate through the lights that are actually hitting my table and actually be visible on my table. And if y'all recall, I have to make it kind of dark in here and just use my studio lights that I have here behind me. So that way on stream, like if I have my GoPro turned on, you can see all of the outlines. But if you're at least here in person, you could still have all the lights on and you would still be able to see everything just fine. But with that quote unquote restriction that I have because of the type of projector that I needed to be able to suit my environment, the projector actually cost more than the system itself. So if you're wondering about whether or not if you'd like to have your own ICA training system and you're not sure what kind of projector you would need, that's what you'd have to take into consideration is how much lights you actually have around your table. But if you are interested in purchasing your own ICA training system, I always like to call it a promo code, not necessarily a discount code. When I refer to discount codes, I think of percentages, like you get a percentage off. And a promo code to me is just nothing more than you're getting a flat rate off, period. And so if you saw when the logo came up, I have a promo code LC, and that's going to give you $50 off of your purchase of the bundle system, which is the actual software that comes on a Raspberry Pi, and you get a Logitech keyboard that has a built-in trackpad, HDMI cables, and I believe USB cables. You can get all of that and then and have $50 off, or you can just purchase the software itself, which I think comes on an SD card. You can get just the software. Then you have to obviously go and purchase everything else, like the Raspberry Pi and or whatever system that you're gonna have to purchase in order to be able to load the software onto some sort of computer device, and then of course buy the projector. So once again, if you use my promo code LC, you can get $50 off of your purchase. Now, having said that, though, I do have a contest going on. It's been going on for a little over a month now, and I'm probably going to let it go on for about another month or so because, as you heard me say, I was gifted the ICA training system, and all I had to do was buy a projector. So in light of that, I want to pay that forward and help one of y'all have your own ICA training system. Meaning that I'm going to buy you an ICA training system, but you, like myself, have to buy your own projector. So if you're wondering about that contest, there should be a pinned comment here in the YouTube chat. I have a community post on my YouTube community channel page. Gives you all the details of what you need to do, and basically all you have to do is record yourself making an attempt at doing my climb down the tree drill that I posted a while ago. And if you successfully complete it, and you're a YouTube subscriber, I can verify that you're a subscriber, then you'll be eligible to win one of the systems, because only one person's going to win it. And right now I currently have 10 people that have made submissions for me to select as time goes by. Now, truth be told, the system's not cheap. So that's why I've let this contest go on for a couple of months so I can save up some money and then purchase your own, and then of course have it shipped to you as well. Okay, so I think that takes care of that. Now, so what's been going on before I start shooting? Well, of course, I've been busy with work. Y'all always hear me talk about that, but I think it's fair to say that I kind of feel like I hit a lull with producing content. I mean, I was doing those shorts for quite some time. And I kept telling myself how I wanted to, start making long form content again. But every time I try to make long form content, I lose interest and I just don't end up doing it. Same goes for live streaming. Like, there were times I'd feel like I'd want to go live, but then at the moment I would want to go live, I would just all of a sudden not have the interest to live stream. So I can't really explain as to why I went through that phase, but hopefully we can say that maybe this is the start of me breaking that phase and I can get back into producing some content. I want to still hit that 100,000 subscribers so that way I can get that YouTube plaque, the silver YouTube select plaque. I think that's going to be awesome, and I'll have like some sort of big celebration stream when that happens, and then still just keep on going and see what we can do. So without further ado, let's go ahead and play some straight pool, but we're going to start off a little different because lately I've been struggling so badly to put up good straight pool scores. Missing shots I shouldn't miss, not getting on the break ball, getting terrible breaks, et cetera, et cetera. And so one of the things that I started to do finally, a year and a half into playing this game, and I'm actually starting to do this, is practicing breaks, identifying what area of the rack I'm going to hit, trying to identify where the cue ball is going to go after I hit it based on the amount of power that I use. And then of course, trying to identify where the balls are going to end up or how the balls are going to spread out of the rack and see what kind of shot I can have after the break. So before I actually begin like high run attempts, let's watch me practice a couple of breaks. And then of course we can test to see how the audio sounds out there. But before I do that though, I do want to at least load up my program that I use to keep track of my score. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this on, but I'm going to turn this off. So real quick, before I get started, because now the shotgun microphone should be on, and then of course my two table microphones are picking me up. How do I sound? Hopefully legible. I shouldn't have to like raise my voice in order for you to hear me, but you can clearly tell that there's an echo out here because I can only be so close to the microphones versus if I'm like right here facing the microphone, I probably sound a whole lot better. If you can do me that favor, just let me know how I sound out there. I'm actually standing at my computer right now, but my computer mic is muted. So right now you should still be hearing me from the shotgun microphone. Okay, cool. As long as you can still hear me, that's all that matters. Okay. So what do I mean by practicing breaks? Well, literally what I end up doing now is I just take my break ball and I set it up somewhere around the rack to know what balls I'm going to hit. So if I knew that I was going to hit this ball, for example, then I would set this up to where I can see like something like this, to where I can see how the tangent line is going to go right into that 2-ball. And then all I got to do is just slide this ball out a little bit and then figure out what I'm going to do. Now, I actually saw a video that said that if I hit this shot here, I should basically try to do a slight draw shot so that way I can hit the top side of the 2 and kind of just slide up to the middle of the table. I don't want to blast it, because if I blast it, I can clearly just draw all the way here, and then I'm not entirely sure where the cue ball is going to end up. So let's see what happens here if I just hit this with draw and hit it firm. Well, I got to make the ball first. Now what we saw though is this. This is a common thing that we have to start looking for. The second ball just banks out over here, so we can see that this might be a ball that I might end up setting up later. And then we've got a couple of balls out in the open. And this is what I mean by practicing, is trying to really study how the rack is going to behave, let alone if I make the ball, and know what ball I'm going to shoot at next. So let's just try it again. See if I can actually make the darn ball this time. I'm overcutting the ball. And I didn't even pay attention to see if I got the similar spread or not. Let's try this again. All right, so we know we're overcutting, so let's make an adjustment for that. I'm still overcutting the ball. Are you serious? You would think third time's the charm, but not in my case. And how about this? How about let's observe. I didn't overcut at that time, but bobbled the pocket, and so we can see this. This is probably the way I would want to break if I end up getting that this type of setup. But sooner or later, I'd like to at least make a ball. And of course, while I was practicing this, since I haven't been streaming, because I still come in here and play. But when I was practicing this, I wasn't missing as often as I'm missing right now. So the pressures of the camera, for sure. There we go. There's the ball that comes out. Now what do I got though? This is what I have to always consider. Now the problem though is that I didn't slide up the rack. So my cue ball came this way. So that means I didn't hit the top side of the. I didn't hit the top side of the 6 ball. I actually hit the bottom side of the 6 ball and then drew over to the side rail. So that's something I have to take into consideration. And believe it or not, this is basically what I did, or what I had done with the 9-ball rack, racking the 1 ball on the spot. Is just breaking over and over and over and over, and just really trying to study and watch how the balls ended up behaving. To the point where I made that video where I can usually predict where all 9 balls are going to go when the 1 ball is on the spot. I cannot believe I missed this many times on this shot, overcutting the ball. I mean, at least make the shot 2 more times, then we'll move down to the next row. go. Now that was a not so good break, and it's the same thing. My cue ball is coming this way, it's not sliding up. So what would I end up doing? Well, I'm going to take a couple of shots and see if I can make this happen, because this is another thing that I've been making sure that I'm doing, is really laying out a plan and then trying to see if I can execute it. So what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to obviously start with the 10 ball because that's all that I have. I'm going to try to get positioned for the 11, and then I need my cue ball to come over here for this 14 ball so I can cut the 14 ball in and then hit this side of the rack and see if I can open it up. Let's actually see if I can do that before I go on and try another break. I'm flat on this 11, that's good. Okay, I'm not. I can cheat the pocket a little bit. So let's see if I can get underneath that 14 ball and then try to open the rack back up. I don't like this. Because doing stuff like this is hopefully what's going to help keep the rack alive. And this is another thing that I've been trying to make sure that I do, is looking and see what the heck's going to happen here. So I can hopefully see that my cue ball looks like my cue ball is going to run into the 3 ball. And if it hits the 3 this way, that means it's going to go out that way. Not sure if I particularly like that. So I think what I'm going to try to do is draw into it, so that way if I hit the 3 this way, it's obviously going to punch the 15 out that way. The 3 is going to go that way, and hopefully the draw will come back and hit the 5, which means it'll push the 8. And I'll kind of just wrap around these balls right here. Maybe I'll have a shot at the 1 ball afterwards. Not entirely sure. Let's find out. This is why I'm trying to do this kind of extensive practice. Make sure I'm hopefully learning. Kind of, sort of, but I ended up hitting the 1, so okay. Well, you would think maybe this is a great break ball to have, but then what about this? So chances are I need to use this ball to go ahead and break this stuff up. So because of the position I have on the 1, let's go ahead and see if I can get it. Oh, never mind. But that would be that. So let's see if I can break one more time, hitting the ball that's in the 2nd row without missing. Then we'll move on to the 3rd row and see how the rack behaves from the 3rd row. Let's try to make sure that we're actually going to hit the top side of the 9 ball. See, I still hit the bottom side of the 9 ball. So how would I try to keep this alive? Well, I can shoot the 9 in the side and probably just go ahead and bust the rack back open. Except I'm not going to bust it open. Instead, I'm just going to clip off the 7. The 7 might move some of this stuff and maybe move the 4, but I'm going to try to get positioned for the 1. Nope, never mind, because I missed. Might have not been able to do that. It looked like I could have shot it. Oh, I almost forgot though. Because since you're watching me do this, you'll notice how every time I shot, my cue ball's been somewhere over here. Well, what about if my cue ball's over here? Because remember, there's a rule of thumb that basically says if you line your cue up where the ghost ball is and make it parallel to the rail that the ball is closest to, if you're on this side of the line, then typically you can just try to back cut the ball in with topspin and drive the cue ball into the rack. But if you're on this side of the rack, or this side of the line, then you have to draw your cue ball into it. That's a good rule of thumb to follow, but what's really more important is making sure you just know exactly where you're going to hit on the rack. So I kept trying to hit what would be the top side of the 12 ball so I can draw back up towards the middle of the table, but we kept seeing that I kept hitting the bottom side and kind of just drawing out to the side here. Now, since I am on this side, I do have to hit a lot firmer than what I was doing. I still overcut the ball. Jeez. And look where my cue ball went. My cue ball is still not sliding up the ball. So, hopefully I just get all this out of my system when I actually start keeping score. Get all the bad juju out now. There we go. My cue ball slid up the rack this time. Now, I don't necessarily have any decent shots. I can try to play a 7-5 combination. I can clearly try to play this 12 ball. The question is how do I break the rack back open? Currently, I see two ways of doing it. One is obviously the 7 ball, but I have to move the 5 out of the way, which means I would be forced to start with this guy. Or I can try to use the 4 ball if I can get my cue ball somewhere over here. So if I were to try to plan all this out, I play the 7-5 combination. 7 ball is going to go over to the side rail and come back out. That's what I'm going to play position for. Then try to use that 7 ball to get either position on the 1 or try to go ahead and come all the way back over here. Let's see if I can do that. Let's go ahead and play this combination. There's that. Now, if I wanted to, I can actually try to cut this in, have the cue ball hit the rail, and come back and hit it this 6 and see what happens. I can do that. The problem with doing that is I don't know what ball I'm going to shoot at next. There's going to be times where I have no choice but to do that. But in this case here, I would really still like to get position on this 4, cut the 4 in, drive the cue ball into the rack, and then use this 8 ball as a backup shot. Let's see if I can actually do that. Oh, never mind. I would end up shooting the 1 ball if I would have made it. All right, so let's move down to the 3rd row and see what we have. And we do have to try from different distances too. So here, I can try to make it to where I'm going to hit the bottom side of the 9 ball. Pull this back to about right here. So that way, when I'm on this side here, if I know I'm going to hit the bottom side of the 9 ball, then I can try to use top spin to come to the short rail and then back out. But then let's watch the balls and see how they spread. And if I remember correctly, watch this 12 ball. We saw how earlier when I was hitting this ball here that this ball would kind of bank out. Now watch the 12 ball because I think it does the same thing. See? 12 ball just banks its way out. Now, I don't want my cue ball being all the way up here though. This kind of stinks. And I don't really have a decent shot. Let's see if I can make the 11. That way I know it would still be in the rack. Not quite. So we know the opposite ball in the same row banks out, so that's a good thing to note. Now I need to pay attention to some of the other balls and see where they go. We're going to try to do the same thing, hit the bottom side of the 2 ball. We know the 11 ball is going to bank out. keep an eye on the bottom three and see where they go. Okay, 3 ball just went over and back out, and nothing else really happened. I don't even remember where. I don't remember if this was the ball that was in the 3rd row or not. I at least have a shot. I have a shot at the 9 ball, so that's good. I have a 10 ball shot here to break the rack open. Let's go ahead and try to do that. Slide draw shot. And then we're just going to break into this. And then we would just try to piece things out from there. Got a backup shot here. Break ball, break ball. So like that's a pretty good start. So now, let's try to do it from this side though, where I have to draw into the rack. I can, as far as I'm concerned, I can still use topspin. This is something I've learned about this shot here though. Watch this. Like I can sometimes almost attempt to do something like that, knowing that I can still like clip the area here, but unfortunately it doesn't look like I have a shot. But actually, let's see if I can make this. Let's see if I can back cut this 12 ball. Okay, I mean, I would still be in the rack, so that's obviously a good thing. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to blast it open with that 11 ball. But like I said before, what's going to happen here? So it looks like I might catch the bottom side of the 5 ball, which means my cue ball is going to slide into this. I hope my cue ball doesn't scratch. Do I want to just hit it and try to draw off and hopefully watch this whole area, this whole side of the rack go like this? That might be good. Let's see if that happens. Oh, never mind. If I don't make the ball. I made the 12 ball, but then I missed that ball. Okay. So now, like I said, let's try to draw into this now, and let's see what happens. When we're on this side, we have to hit the ball firmer or harder. And you have to use bottom spin. So that way our cue ball does something like that, kind of bounces off of the rack. So what can I do? Well, shoot the 3, shoot the 14, have an angle on this guy, cut it into this corner, hit the rail, and try to bounce right back into the rack. So let's see if we can do that. You're kind of just want to follow forward or roll forward and get a cut angle on the 7. Oh, not too big of a cut angle. Never mind. So cue ball control is something I clearly still have to work on too. There's no way I can kick this in or cut it in. I mean, so if I'm going to attempt a Hail Mary shot, it's gonna have to be to kick the 7 in if I wanted to try to keep this going. highlight shot for practicing. Now, unfortunately, what do I do from here? Bank the 8? Guess so. All well and good, but then now what? This is how you know when your runs are supposed to come to an end, when you start seeing this stuff. You know what? I'm going to try to call the 15 right here. Oh, never mind. All right, so there's third row breaking. Fourth row breaking is what you're going to see me do the most tonight, because I did learn that this is probably, well, one, I ended up learning that this was Willie Mosconi's favorite break shot. Coming into this part of the rack, which is a corner, is a weak area of the rack, so you can usually get pretty good spreads. And from what I've seen that happens here, when I hit this 5 ball, it's going to dribble out into a break ball position. My cue ball is going to go 2 rails around, come out towards the middle of the table. Sometimes I will end up colliding into that ball as well. This is the cool part, is because you don't have to hit it so hard, right? Was this the ball that was in the 4th row as well, the adjacent ball that banks out, kind of like how the 2nd and 3rd row does? So this is usually a ball that I can count on to have position. And then look, I've got another break ball that goes right into it. So this is kind of good. Let's see what I would do here. Position on this 15. Or the 2, or the 5. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to go ahead and take the 5 though, because I think what I want to try to do is get on the 10 to get on to maybe get on this 9, cut the 9 in, and then go back into the rack. The angle that I have on the 15 right now is not really any good, because I can't guarantee myself any type of position. So I'm going to try to use the 5. So here, if I can just slide in between the 15 and the 11, I'll have that angle on the 9 that I want. And then try to open the rack up. Ah, or not. Let's look how my cue ball is spinning. Now this time though, let's draw into it and see what happens. I said I know I have to hit this firmer when I draw into it. So it kind of pulls itself to the side rail. Hopefully it does that on a consistent basis. This is actually not a bad spread. 2 different break balls, one of them which I can use to try to separate all this stuff. That's actually pretty good. Let's see if I can do it again. because besides missing, right, which is every pool player's downfall, missing is the reason why you don't break and run. Missing a cue ball transition is why you don't break and run. One of the biggest things that prevents me from getting good numbers here is knowing how to do this. Knowing how to break certain break balls from different angles, different speeds. Oh. And then of course that. Whenever I have to power a ball in, I think everybody can understand this. Whenever you have to use power, your accuracy goes down. And that's regardless of how simple a shot is. Whereas normally I would just want to make this ball, and I could just make this ball if that's all I was focused on, was just making the ball. No. That's not a decent break. Stay up, ball. This ball would have been helpful. But we can see the 15 ball goes here. So if I can get position somewhere over here, then I can try to break the rack open with the 9 ball maybe as an insurance ball. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, never mind. But I can use the 9 ball to get in the position that I want. And then now, here's the position I was talking about. I have to hope that I'm going to have a shot afterwards because there's no insurance here. So what the heck do I think is going to happen? Well, I'm going to hit the 2. Cue ball's going to slide out this way. And with my top spin, I might hit the 3 and kind of burrow the way through, or it's just going to keep on coming out like this. So I'm going to hit this with a bunch of top spin. Kind of like that. And then try to run. Fortunately, I have a couple of shots after that. So there's at least that. The next time I stream straight pool, I'll do from underneath the rack. So I don't want to just take up too much time practicing the breaks. But hopefully everybody understands why I just ended up going through that exercise, because most of the time I ended up just trying to follow the rule of thumb, and that's knowing which side of the line, that parallel line to the ghost ball to the side rail that I'm on, to know whether or not if I need to use top spin or bottom spin. And more times than not, I still end up following it, but I try to get now more precise into knowing where exactly I'm going to hit on the rack, and then watch how the balls are going to behave depending upon the type of power that I use. Because I don't want to use too much power, because then I just lose my accuracy. Oh, okay. See this here, William McDowell. You want to know what was the aiming system I did to kick that 7 ball in? I have a video for that. It's a one rail bank and kicking system that I learned from Tony Robles. When Tony was here helping me out with my straight pool game, he actually showed me this system. I practiced it a lot, and then I made a video about it. Let me see if I can find it. And it's really easy to follow. It's really easy to do. And as you saw, it's very accurate. There we go. Here it is. Now, that's not to say that, of course, that there are points of failure that you can have with the measuring system, like all the steps that you saw me do to measure out to measure out the kick. I could have, any mismeasurement I could have missed. If I when you shoot, you don't use any side spin. So if my stroke is not straight and I accidentally impart some side spin on the cue ball, then I'm going to miss. Since I'm kicking into a rail, if I kick too hard, if I kick too soft,
Like there's still a lot of variables that can make the system go wrong. But if you at least follow everything to a T, then you can usually get a pretty accurate result like that. But I just put the video in a link to the video. Waiting to see, why isn't Facebook receiving my messages? Speaking of which, Kyle J. Wendell and Eric Croft, thank you so much for watching on Facebook. I want to make sure everybody knows, or any of my Facebook viewers know that I know you're there. And of course, all my lovely followers on or subscribers on YouTube. How come nothing is showing up? This is weird. Try refreshing. Oh, there it is. Okay, I just had to refresh. Okay, cool. All right. Well, let me go ahead and just roll through the chat to see if there's any other questions before I get started. Aren't you the one that just actually commented on my like my tuxedo promo video that I made, Kyoto? I'm not selling my tuxedo cue. I'm still keeping that, but I do appreciate it. Oh, let's see here. This guy. There's a previous chat message that kind of links to this one, but this is a bit out of context, so he apologizes, but he thought I'd be a good one to ask. Should he practice for the pressure of APA World Pool Championship in Vegas this year? What exactly do you mean practice for pressure? Because like for example, you just saw me miss like my first 3 or 4 opening shots. I'm playing for a worldwide audience, and I don't know how, like there could be like 40 or 50 plus people watching me. So that's pressure in and of itself to make sure that I perform and uphold my own reputation that the internet has of me. But, so should you practice for pressure? I mean, absolutely, right? Because if you're in your garage like me, and I don't have the cameras on, there's no pressure, and I might be able to make more shots and get slightly better. But then when there are certain shots that I can make under no pressure, the question is, can I make them while under pressure? You have to play in some sort of competition in order to do it. And I'm not talking about practicing with friends either. I'm talking about a league play, a tournament play, gambling, something where there is some form of pressure on you to make sure that you can actually execute under pressure. So, I mean, the short answer would be yes, you do need to practice under pressure if you can. And how do you do that? Well, I just said it. Tournament play, league play, or gambling. But if you're going to gamble, make sure you can afford it. Like, don't gamble something that you don't have. Just put a couple of bucks on the game, and then set yourself a limit to lose like $20, or that you would just have, that you're okay with losing $20. Play $2 a game and only lose up to $20. So that way you can feel that pressure. Okay, so this looks good. I don't really see anything. All right. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I don't need that on. Turn that off. So it's been a while since I've done this. I always have to remember. Gotta remember to turn the shotgun microphone on when I come out here. But the way this works is I'm going to make attempts
to run 100 balls in one inning, but I always keep track of how many points I've been scoring. And the moment I actually make 100 balls, then I'm gonna take a break. I might not make 100 consecutively, but when all of my attempts add up to 100 or more, then I'm gonna take a break. See what I mean? Consistency. This is usually what we're looking for. Some form of consistency. Don't really like that these balls tied up the way that they did. That was less than ideal. Oh gosh. So that ball doesn't count, so I get to start off with a lovely 3. How awesome is that? Oh, that's a little different. Sheesh. I've got no choice but to play a 10-3 combination. Let me guess, I don't have a shot. $15 ball does not go. About the $2 ball. I don't think I can back cut that $2 ball into the corner. Is there any other shot? I'm not playing the 15-10 combination. Maybe I can bank the 14. Let me just look at this $2 ball one more time. Yeah. Let's see if we can. This is uncomfortable too. I've got all these balls in my way. Yeah, that was gonna happen. That's not bad. And one real opening shot is with this one ball. Don't think I want to risk back cutting the 7 ball. Alright, so I'm a little flat on the 7, so that doesn't really do me any good. I think I have to shoot this 14. I can probably hit the bottom side of the 13 ball and the 10, so the 10's going to come up and clutter this stuff, and it looks like I might have a shot at the 2 ball. But I'm not just gonna bake this. I actually think I'm going to hit it. Well, maybe that wasn't the smartest of decisions. Okay. One last little area to solve. I'll probably try to get position on the 3. So right now we're looking at break ball, break ball. I'm not even in end pattern mode yet, really, but I do need to know what am I going to shoot after the 3 ball. I'm going to bump into that 10. Might have a shot at the 9 or the 7. Well, I don't have a shot at the 7. I barely have a shot at the 9, and I do have a shot at the 12. I didn't roll forward enough. Well, I have a shot at 7 if I want to go all the way up into the corner. Which actually might be my shot. Actually, I don't know what to shoot. You can shoot the 7. Does the 6 pass by the 13? It does. At least I think it does. If I shoot the 9, I might bump into the 8. And if I bump into the 8, that means I might bump into this ball. I don't know if I'm going to have a shot here. Yeah, maybe the 9 ball is the shot. Alright. Good, clean pocket drop. Now we can, what? What can we do now? Don't need to shoot the 8 because I don't want to bridge over the 13. I can shoot the 13 now and maybe just take this guy as the break ball. Either one of these could be nice key balls for the 13 ball as well. So I probably need to go ahead and make a decision. Let's start with the 10. Let's get position on that 7. Or not, because I overrolled it. I mean, I can obviously still shoot it. That's not an issue. Let's do this. So now I can really shoot the 7.
you serious? I overcut the ball. Come on. All right, well, that's an improvement now. We just got up to 12. So what's funny is I used to start with my break ball all the way up here. And then sometimes my cue ball would get down here. Sometimes my cue ball would be all the way up table. Once I found out this, breaking like this, then I started getting more consistent results. By that I mean knowing where my cue ball is going to end up. This is actually terrible. Opening shot has to be a combination. Yuck. The interesting part is this is where I'm not sure what to do next. I don't have a wired combination for any of those balls down there. I was hoping to just create something. I have a combo now. Don't really want to use the 1 ball though, because I might have to use that as a break ball. So we're going to call the 11 ball. In straight pull, you have to call what ball and what pocket it's going to go into. I'm going to call the 11 in the corner. Now I really need to figure out what the heck I'm going to do here though. I have one idea. Slow down, please. Nah, that's too far. I was hoping to use the 5 ball, but now I got a little lucky and I can use the 12 on the side. There we go, just made a nice break ball. I'd love to use this as a key ball, but it looks like I might have to shoot it. goodness gracious, I cannot believe I just did that. Wow. Like I said, failure in cue ball control. Cannot believe I just did that. We're gonna try to call the 14. Once again, letting y'all know how accurate that system is. Let's try to bank the 1 cross side. And hey, I get out of a rack. Okay. Have to come out with 2 spectacular shots to do that. So now you can see we're on the drawing side of the break line. So I'm gonna have to draw into this rack. That's the rule of thumb. But now what I also want to make sure is, well, where the heck's the cue ball going to go? So I definitely have to make sure I know where I'm going to hit on the rack. So it looks like I'm going to hit the bottom side of the 10 ball. So if I do this right, I might be able to draw my cue ball to the side rail. If I even judge this correctly. I don't know if I judged it correctly. I mean, I might just still crawl up over here. Or I'll just overcut the ball and see. I end up crawling up the table. I still can't believe I overcut the ball. And by the way, in case anybody's wondering, like, think about it like this. That rack is so distracting, but if I just want to do this, and make the ball, I can do that, but then now what, right? So like I said, that rack, having to break that rack open is so distracting when you're just shooting the ball. And it's a ball that you know you can make. Like, I can make that shot over and over and over and over, but when I'm putting power, I'm drawing the ball, all of that for some reason just changes things. It makes things harder. I become less accurate. All right, not bad. think I was gonna hit that 12 ball. Oh, that's so annoying. Hail Mary shot right there. Managed to get away with something. I was trying to run into this stuff, but not like that. Certainly not like that. Can't cut. The heck am I going to do here? No way I'm kicking like this. Even right-handed for that matter. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna call the 15 up there. See if I can get it to come off the 2. Not like that, but oh well. 5 left on the table, so that's only a 10. So this is my straight pull struggle. What you see here is what I also do off camera. A bit of consistency with that break if I can just keep replicating something like that. It's not bad. Wasn't exactly expecting that, but I guess it worked. Trying to go around everything. So let's get positioned for this 1 to come back into the rack, and then hopefully have the 4 ball as a backup. Not like that, almost got hooked behind the 9. So I might be able to use this as a break ball. I'm not entirely sure. And the 7 balls is a good break ball, but I haven't solved everything yet. This is not a solved rack.
thought I missed that. The 7 ball into a quote-unquote better position, a little further away from the rack. Hate these delicate shots. I think I like doing it this way. Little angle on the 12, kind of just hit the rail and climb back up this way. I can even try to come behind the 7 if I wanted to, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Just kind of climb back up like this. So that was pretty good. Let's see if I can actually make this break ball and break the rack open. Because remember, if I want to just make it, I can. Or it's easier if I just want to make it. What the heck do I think is going to happen here? It looks like I'm going to hit the 6 ball because I've got enough room to follow forward. Kind of like that, but I guess I should have hit it harder. Oy. I don't know how I feel about that. So you're going to shoot the 10 ball now and just slide into the rack. Looks like I'm going to hit the 9 ball. Something in my eye. Boy, this is ugly. I almost feel like cutting the 1 in so that way I can hit this cluster from behind. But I guess it's going to have to be this 4 ball.
Yuck. Wish I was flatter on this 9-ball. Looks like I might be able to maybe stun into that 8-ball, shoot the 1 or the 2 next. Well, if I hit the good side of the 8-ball, I would have been all right. Now I can cut the 13, but then things start to go a little haywire after that as my cue ball comes out and I end up shooting one of my break balls that I would like to have. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and opt to play for this combination here. And I've got the 11 ball as a nice backup. Oh, such delicate movements here. Just move the 15 ball into a break ball position as well, so now I've got 2 of them. Nothing like tight cue ball movements. Gotta love them. Oh, let's see here. All right, last time I shot this shot the way I did, I scratched. So let's try not to scratch this time. Pretty good. Holy crap! I got to the 3rd rack. All right. Like the stream for a 3rd rack. Give the stream a thumbs up. It's the same thing. Looks like I'm going to hit that 1 ball.
overcut the ball. It's a shot that I keep shooting over and over again, and that time I overcut it. So these two don't even count. Just the 28. I personally would think that after playing this game for so long, shooting shots like this over and over and over and over, I'd have a better handle on them. Like that. Thank you. Didn't overcut it that time. Lost my cue ball though, that's for sure. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Normally I don't count racks like that because I don't ever really count zeros. But then I was also at a point where I wasn't, if I don't make the first shot after opening the rack, I wouldn't count that either. Now I'm counting it again. Still not counting zeros though. So you can consider my average to be kind of, is basically an augmented average. But thankfully, I haven't missed a break shot yet. Knock on wood. Man, this is tough. Just hit my chair. I gotta watch the replay to see how that happened. Whatever that was. Cue ball control. Trying to get position on one of those two. Over true the ball. All right, decent shot. Respectable. Hit that one a little on the softer side. I have to shoot my break ball now. Stay up! Oh, terrible. Ah, 6, 9. I thought I made that. All right, I'm sitting at 80 right now. Let's at least get a 20 plus on this one so we can take a break. The struggles. I have a very bad tendency to rattle this shot. See what I mean? How many of y'all do that? I literally just called what was going to happen. 1. I didn't even try to drill that ball in. I'm pretty sure I hit that pocket speed just so I can break up that 2-ball clutter. But clearly that just means I didn't cut it enough. I kind of just shot the ball into the rail. There's the collision I was talking about as the cue ball works its way up. Decent break ball. No real issues on the table. Once I move the 13 out of the way, that opens up the 2 and the 10 for that corner, so I just need to get the 4 and the 12 out of there. So I don't have to break anything up, I just have to control my cue ball. Easier said than done. Can always appreciate a good clean pocket drop. Don't like that. I think I'm going to clip that 2 and it's going to get closer to that 1 ball. was accidental, but we'll make it work. I thought I missed. All right. Come on, let's make this ball. We always seem to overcut them for whatever reason. Don't know why. There we go. We didn't overcut that one though. Am I gonna have a shot? Why did those two clutter up? Ah, I thought these two were gonna stay separated. That was kind of like a Thorsten Holman break shot. Draw the cue ball back up and then try to bring it back towards the middle of the table. Okay, now let's think. Try to figure out what we're going to do. How are we going to open this stuff back up? Might use the 9 ball to go into the side. That's a possibility. Awkward. Not sure what to do. Oh, okay. Thought I saw it going over here. Kind of looking at that 5 ball because that if I do this 13, 11, 5 combination, the whole thing opens up. The problem is hitting the 13 way over here, which is doable. Let's not do that. That's a little too dangerous. Don't want to shoot this 9 ball because I'm so straight in on it, but I also don't want to shoot my break ball. That's why I'm almost inclined to take this shot. I'll screw it. Let's do it. 5 ball, corner pocket. Whatever happens after that is luck. So I'm a little lucky here. This stinks. I shoot the 13, I'm going to run into the 15. shoot the 6, I don't know what kind of shot I'm gonna have. Maybe I can try to get shape on the 2. Oh. Oi. Brutal. 6, 7. So 21. All right, that's enough for a break. Okay, so let's do this. And let's turn this back on, and let's turn this on. Hi, everybody. Okay, let's see here. So I want to show this. Here we go. So we can see what kind of a roller coaster ride I've had throughout the night. It took me 10 attempts, like goodness gracious. 7 times I couldn't get out of the first rack. 2 times I did get to the second rack, and then 1 time I did get to the third rack, but I ended up missing the break shot. So I was only able to run 102 balls so far, but I can't tell if I'm progressively getting better yet. I mean, we can see like after scoring the 28, and then it was 2, 9, 1, and then finally a 21. And if we, I don't know. Haven't quite figured it out yet. Let's see what's going on in my chat. Matter of fact, hold on. What's going on over here? I got 52 likes on YouTube. That is wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody. I really do appreciate that. It's like I've got about eight likes and loves on Facebook. I really do appreciate that. Scott, Kevin, are you watching me on both Facebook and YouTube? I really do appreciate it if you're watching both at the same time. All right, let's see here. I'm going to scroll through the chat and see what's going on. Oh, hey, what's going on, Mr. Edit One? Good to see you. You know, I'm still waiting for you to come back and start making some YouTube content again. I mean, I at least always appreciated watching your break and runs and all the special effects and edits that you were able to put into your stuff. Really good stuff. Lone Man Wolf. I guess I'll take what you said into consideration. I think the difference is how fast I might process a rack versus how fast you might process a rack, and that's not to say one is better than the other, because the shots that I've missed are just shots that I've missed because I've already had a plan in mind. At the point in time when I started executing, but I will take it into consideration on my next go around here, and I'll try to slow it down. But I also, as the stream goes on, I get less and less vocal when I'm at the table because I try to get more into full concentration mode after that. But I do appreciate it. Oh, what's going on, Thomas? This is one of my locals. We've had a couple of APA league matches together that I've reviewed on my channel. He says, do I have a preferred break side for your break ball? If so, why? It would have to be the side that I start on, you know, as a right-handed player, which is why I also, like when I'm breaking 8-ball and 9-ball, I also like to break from my left side of the table, and I also like to break on my left side for straight pull. But depending upon how the balls actually end up, and then of course how I'm able to try to put the rack into a solved state, I'll typically go for whatever break ball that I can get, which is on either side, or sometimes even a below the rack break shot. But I do favor what would be or from y'all's viewpoint, it would be the right side of the table.
Robert Ellison, you're wanting to know how I like the cue. I mean, I can't tell the difference. You know, like if I were to try to make some sort of comparison video. I will say this though, because I mentioned it before, because on that JFlower cue that I have there, because this is the one that I use for YouTube, this is the JF 2021, it has a Taom Fusion tip on it. And I've showed before how on the Predator Icon 4.5, the Taom Fusion tip that I put on, to me, was just harder than I preferred. It's supposed to be like a medium soft, like somewhere in between medium and soft. And personally, I didn't think it was, just from the way it sounded and the way that it felt. And that was on a 12.5 millimeter Revo. On a 12.9 JFlower, this Taom Fusion sounds and feels exactly the way I would prefer. It sounds softer. It sounds more padded. I feel like I have more feeling when I actually make contact with the cue ball. So I don't know if the diameter size of the shaft obviously plays into that. I would have to literally take a 12.4 for the Revo, but on, I think JFlowers is 12.9 and then 12.5. I would have to take a 12.5 Revo, JFlower shaft, put a Taom Fusion tip on it to see if it has any kind of comparable difference. But I mean, overall, the cues feel fine. Yeah, everybody wants to see the cat, huh? All right, hold on a second. Let me go get the cat. I'll even see if I can get the dog too. Well, the cat's running from me, but I do have this little cutie patootie. Everybody remember Link? Because he's fully grown now, almost 9 months old. Right? Sometimes he comes in here and he'll just start running around. I've got a couple of funny videos when I'm in here practicing and he just comes bolting in here, playing with one of his chew toys. But say hi, everybody, while you're biting my hand. Huh? I wonder if does my glove taste like chalk? Oh my goodness. Oh, what? Look who I found. Oh, everybody remember this chonker? I found him. He finally came out. Wanted to say hi. Big old ball of floof, right? You're the reason why I'm supposed to get 1 million views on YouTube. Everybody comes just to see you. They don't come to watch me play pool. And as you can see, he can just care less. Now, of course, the dog is jealous. What do you want? You want to watch me play? I'll put you over here, huh? I tell you what. Let's go for another round. Let's see if I can beat my 28. You can barely see Zelda. Okay. I'm gonna move you more into the frame of the camera so people can see you.
at the same time. Should be pretty obvious what my break ball is going to be. So that was pretty good. That felt pretty clean. As you can see, the cat is entertained as he falls asleep. Alright, let's try not to overcut this. Okay, pretty good. Oops.
because of a missed position. But I also should have been able to make that ball. That wasn't the proper transition to that ball. But I also should have still been able to make it. You can see I'm really starting to like breaking at that corner. I could probably do the same thing on this side. It's just that when you think about it, like, look how awkward it would be for me shooting like this. Or otherwise I'd have to shoot from way down here. Another reason why I like shooting on the on this side, what would be my left. Ah. Six. Now, for giggles and grins, I'll go ahead and blast this next one. I don't know how many times my cue ball would end up like this. The spread's not bad. I have two opening shots. But it doesn't look like I have a real decent break ball yet.
flip a ball. Well, not like that. Ah! All right, let's see here. I think the 2 ball is going to have to be it. I'd like to maybe use the 10 ball as a key ball if I can. Definitely still have to deal with this. They both go here into the side pocket. Try to get a little closer to the ball so that way it makes the cut thinner. That way, hopefully, I can channel some momentum into the rack. I'd like the cue ball to probably be a couple of inches closer. Obviously, don't want it too close, but a little bit closer than this would have been better. So, because it looks like I'm going to hit the 8 ball, so I don't even think this is going to be a decent spread, unless I try to draw it into the rack. Stretched out like this, I'm not going to do that. So that was a decent result. Go ahead and try to break the rack open again with the 7 ball. A little bit better. Actually, that worked out better than I thought. I was getting position on the 6, but I also have a shot at the 8.
Shots like that I should not be missing. This is more frustrating than any. Should not be missing shots like this. That's what should have happened. All right, so. Ball doesn't count. Plus 18. Back to normal, predictable breaking. There's the collision I've talked about before. It happens from time to time. Almost did what I wanted.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Better than nothing. Oh, overthrew the ball. Trying to get position for the 14 inside. Whee! I really wanted position on the one ball, but I was too afraid to hit the ball harder to get over there, considering I just missed a very similar shot. Now I certainly don't even like the shot that I'm faced with right now. Nice.
Right, cue ball control. Too soft. Except cue ball control. But another third rack. Not a whole lot I could do here. There is one backup shot I always like to take. I just play this ball. Get behind the rack like this. I call the 2-ball cross side. A lot of times I end up making it. Another 28. Let me try it again so y'all can see what I mean. This is a fairly common full rack break shot here. It's easier from like an angle that looks like this. I can hit more of the ball. You know what I mean? And then look at the spread. So very, very cool shot that comes up in my games a lot. And I think the reason why I ended up missing during that attempt is because the hit on the corner ball was too thin. I needed to hit a little bit thicker. Go. I cannot believe I just missed that. And yeah, that ended up being an overcut of all things, which is my most common miss. Overcuts. Overcuts are my most common miss. Oh, thank you. I just saw that. You are correct. Let's see here. So it was 29. Let's delete the last two scores. This is a 29 and then a 4. So that is correct. Thank you. I just saw that in the chat. So actually, while we're at it, I will show you this, because this works the same way.
I want to do a behind the rack break shot, and I'm going into the corner, just like I go into the corner here. I can cut this 6 in, hit that 5-ball, hit this rail with right spin, try to spin back out towards the middle of the table. And I don't have to hit this hard either. Well, maybe I do need to hit it a little bit harder because I just got trapped into the rack. I'm supposed to spin out to like right here. Let's try that again. This is what I was planning on showing when I talk about hitting the back of the rack. Try hitting just a little bit harder. There we go. There, so I can escape from behind the rack. Like that's a pretty good opener. Don't like the 5 and the 13 that's up there though. Alright. That's all figured out now, I think, and now I need to get up here quickly. Good, don't like that. Oh. Alright, got away with that one. Overcut the ball. Look at this. Everything went the way I wanted on that one. Overcut the ball. 2, 4, 6, 8, so that's a 7. Alright, I need 18 more for my next 100.
Nope, that didn't do what I wanted. Call the 10 in the corner. That 2 ball is messing up everything. What? Silly mistakes like that. This is where you get all the theories of, if I'd have spent 1 or 2 more seconds, or just the list goes on what could I have done different that would have made that shot at that given point in time. Whereas if I were to just set the shot up and just do it again, I would most likely just make it. Yuck. My cue ball doing way up here for it. Look at that. Oh. You would think that should have fell. Like, I know I hit the jaw of the pocket, but that should have fell. I hit right here. And it just bobbles. And of course, if I'd have hit here, then it probably would have went in. Almost missed that. Trying to set up for that 7-6 combination.
Gee whiz. Well, I'm gonna have one more set for y'all after I take a break, but I haven't even hit 100 yet. I typically try 3 sets of 100. I have a choice now. Just bump the 11 ball into a break ball position. Probably the one that I'm going to attempt to use. As I pull this off. Nope. Still think I like the 11 ball. 6 ball's just a tad bit too high. I tried to hold it so badly. because I got terrible position on the 13 ball. So that's 13. Okay.
let's see here. Come back to this. And so the consistency. Oh, I didn't even realize I didn't turn my shotgun microphone on. So I wonder what did it sound like when I was out there, because then only this microphone and the condenser microphones were picking me up. So I was probably really low on vocals when I was out there. So apologies for that. But I did take another 10 attempts to at least score 100 points. So there's at least that consistency. I'm only averaging 10, which is usually what I average. I would really start to love averaging higher than 14. Like averagely getting out. Look at that. 14 times I did not get out of the first rack. So to be able to averagely hold a 14 would be satisfying to me. Like, go back out there without the shotgun mic fast. It might be better. Really? Let's see here. So let me just. So I would expect the pool balls. That would sound just fine because of my two condenser microphones being up here. But what would my vocals sound like out here? Because hopefully I don't have to talk with an elevated voice and you'd be able to hear me okay. But I'd be curious as to how low it sounds. Because otherwise I'd have to just listen to it. Did I sound okay? Is Craig, you're saying maybe it sounds better without the shotgun microphone? Really? So I wonder if I just have the shotgun microphone on just a little bit to kind of help. Because like right now, I don't think the shotgun microphone's picking me up at all. I do have it unmuted, but I have the gain of the microphone really low. So I wonder if I just have it on just a little bit, maybe that'll help. But if it sounds better with that setup, then I'll obviously keep it that way. So thank you for that feedback. Let's see here. So definitely want to say, like, Dark Guy, you're the comment that I saw about my 29 versus the 28. Oh, and I see we've got shortstop on pool. What's going on, Bob? Now you're seeing what I'm talking about, like, because Bob and I talk quite a bit on Facebook and stuff, and I've been telling him so much about how I've just been struggling, and here it is. Like. Don't know what it is. Don't know what it is. Wish I did. But let's see. So like I said, with a total of 20 attempts, I've only completed 8 racks out of 28. That is ridiculous. So how does that work? Well, when you see that I've got to the second rack 4 times, that means obviously 4 completed racks. And then I got to the third rack twice. So in order to get to the third rack, I had to complete 2 racks twice. So 4 and 4 is 8. So that's where the 8 out of 28 comes from. And then I've currently made 210 balls out of 392. Had I not missed a single shot, I would have 390. I would currently have 392. And between my 20 attempts, I'm only averaging 10 points per inning, which means I'm not even averaging a rack, which. That's the frustrating part for me after playing this game for so long and not being able to average at least 1 rack. So at the moment I start averaging at least 1 rack on a consistent basis, like I would love to at least hold a 20 plus average, and then have the giant spurts every once in a while. So right now, since I'm not even getting, like when you think about it, when I'm not even getting out of the first rack so often, and then all of a sudden I have a spike of 29 and 28, like that kind of makes sense, and then a bunch of low numbers. So if I'm averaging, a bunches of like 20 pluses and stuff, then you would tend to think that every now and again maybe a 50 or a 60 is going to spike up in there every once in a while. But Currently can't do it yet. Shortstop on pool, he says, just saw a video by Alex Paguline today. Says he said, just get a divorce, sell your kids, and play 12 hours a day. That's the answer. Well, I can't do that because I have bills to pay. I have my regular 9-to-5 job that I have to do. That is awesome. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. I love it. I love it. That is awesome. Okay. Well, I'm not going to spend too much time here. I don't really see any questions. So I'm going to go ahead and roll into this last attempt. So I'm looking at see how many more attempts does it take for me to get 300. Oops. There's my first zero. Actually, the spread on that was really good too, and I just didn't make the break ball. Oh, that wasn't a not so good break. Oh. Gotta give shout outs to my bud who graces my stream with his presence. What's going on, Tony? You know, I think it's about time we get on the phone sooner or later and have a nice catch up, man. Thanks for being here. Why'd you have to do that to me, 14 ball? Seriously? We're gonna try the 15. All right. Get a better angle on that 10 ball, then I can bump the 9 out. Or I can bump it out now. 2 ball. Try to use the 12 as a backup shot here. Yeah. Or just get extremely lucky. That was ridiculous.
Nuts. Oh, come on! Doggone it. Oh, 29 again. Not much I can do about that if that's the kind of spread I was going to get. It's one of those. That's one of those where, like, you know, should I have hit it differently? Should I have drawn into the rack instead of following into the rack, even though I was on the side that I was on? I don't know yet. That's more of the experimenting I have to do with these breaks. Didn't mean to disturb that break ball, but still had to open up the cluster a little bit. Might be able to make the 11 a break ball now. I really thought I was going to end up right here. The end pattern was 3, 4, 2. I'm on the break ball. All right. What do y'all think? Is that a foul?
I'll let y'all be the judge of that. I'm still not sure what I would do next, even if we call it a good hit. But what do we think? No blood, no foul. I love it. All right. Everybody thinks it looks clean. I'm going with it. So if I want to keep that 11 ball, I've got no choice but to leave it there. So I'm gonna have to try to cut this 3 ball. How do you back cut a shot like that? Like seriously, I back cut that ball as the ball is going away from the rail. How do you back cut that? That's a 12. My goodness. I cut that so thin that I hit it on the other side to cut it away from the rail. Look at the position I got on the 2 ball, which is what I wanted. I wish I wouldn't have bumped into that ball, but a couple of high ball break ball options. I can still figure out what to do with this. Actually, that can be a break ball. If I really wanted it to be. Yeah, this might be my break ball. And I might try to see about getting my cue ball to end in the rack. So I can have cue ball in hand in the kitchen. That's at least what I'm currently thinking about. Just turn the fly ball into a break ball. Why am I taking a harder shot though? I mean, like, it's just so much easier to just take easier shots. Alright, so if I can either try to play position for the cut angle, or I can try to get the cue ball back into the rack. It's easier for me to do that. Now I can get cue ball in hand in the kitchen, try to cut the 11 ball into the side pocket, slam the cue ball into the top two balls. Give me a shot. There we go. Play the 13.
I hit that much harder than that to get out of the corner. Oh, that's a hard one to judge, to keep railing it back like that. But hey, I got another one. Stacking up these third racks. All right, so this is notorious to where if I spin this in, I'm more than likely going to get stuck into the rack. If I try to just cut it in, I think I'm going to miss the rack altogether. Because the tangent line brings me back out this way, so I have to spin it. And if I catch anywhere right there, the cue ball is just going to get stuck. See what I mean? Oi! Let's see here. What creativeness can I come up with? Come up with something. I'm already liking this 10-4 combination, over and out. Ah, but not if I miscue. Another 29. Hey, this is going pretty good now. What is that? Yeah, my last 4 attempts are at least above 10. Oops. Heck was that all about?
grown less and less fond of side pocket shots because of stuff like that. 8. Yuck. That's just gross. Stop, stop, stop! That rolled a little bit farther than I wanted. Oi, I seriously just did not do that. Ooh, I thought I missed that.
hard enough. Obviously didn't hit that hard enough either. You can see the track line is supposed to bring me right back to here if I'd have hit it hard enough. Knowing how thin I was hitting it. What do I do from here? I'm not behind the rack. Well, I can call the 8-ball in the corner. This is kind of like when you do a second ball break in 8-ball. If this was a templated rack, the 8-ball might go into the corner pocket when you're breaking from here. I can try that. Likelihood is small, but let's go ahead and do it anyway. 8-ball, corner pocket. See how it goes towards it? I don't know if it was a templated rack. In fact, let's prove that theory. See if it's more likely to go in with a templated rack. That was only a what, 14? Oh, and that's 300. All right, let's see if this is more likely. It's out of the way. This is about where I was, so let's see if that 12 ball will go. Yeah, see what I mean? That's what I was trying to do.
Whew. Okay. Well. Hey, at least I increased my average up to 12. I went from 10 to 12 from there. And Tony, you're saying if I had to hit that a little bit harder, I mean, it's kind of unpredictable, really, right? Because since it's not a templated rack, I know Corey Duell basically mastered that second ball break with a templated rack using basically a soft break, kind of like what I was able to replicate here. But I mean, when I'm using a triangle rack, well then yeah, I can clearly try to shoot it a little bit harder just to see if anything's going to be different. Okay, so well, I had a much better finish. I had a much better finishing than I did a starting. That's for sure. Cue ball control, sometimes that shot is more believable, I believe, on a 9-foot table than it is on a smaller table. But I've made it go before, but it's just so unreliable. I can't bank that ball in like that, like how I can cross side the rack more often. But that is also another option as well. So you said you didn't know I wasn't using the template rack anymore. You want to know why? Well, I need to eventually contact Outsville since I am an affiliate with them, because I've been wanting to use their Accu-Rack Ghost template. I have my own like cutout template that I can use reinforcement labels on, I can certainly do that. But I didn't want to bother putting those reinforcement labels down on my new cloth. Well, now my worn cloth. When I was intending on trying to get the Accu-Rack ghost rack that I wanted to use, but at some point in time, I'm gonna switch back to using it as well, because still having just a regular rack is just kind of unreliable as to what kind of full rack break shots I can do, with the exception of cross banking the corner ball like I demonstrated earlier. But no particular reason. It's just just thought I'd try something a little different. But when I'm playing like 9-ball, 10-ball, and 8-ball, I still pull out my template racks. It's just with straight pull, I just use the triangle rack until I get reinforcement labels or the ghost rack put down, one or the other. Okay, so at least what I can say is because my first round of attempts took me 10 attempts to get over 100. My second round of attempts took another 10 attempts to get there. This time, I did it in half the attempts. I did it in 5 before I was finally able to break another increment of 100. My average did go from 10 to 12, so that makes me feel a little bit better. Still didn't get more rack 1s that I did rack 2s, it would appear, because we got 16 times I didn't get out of the first rack and 9 times that I did. When I got 5 second racks and 4 third racks. So grand total of 25 attempts. I completed 13 out of 38 racks, pocketing 302 balls out of a possible 532 with a 12 average. And averaging 12 is something that I typically do. Like I mentioned before, I would really, really like to start averaging in the 14s, pluses, like especially in the 20s or something. But at the very least, I would like to start getting more higher runs. Now, I did see a question earlier about what's is it my people are gonna wonder, is it my cue that's making this so difficult to do? And I'll tell you that it's not. Give me just a second here. How am I gonna do this? Well, here, let me just put it to you this way. Back in June, anytime I basically score above a 50, I still have the recording of it. I talked about all of the ones that I did back in January, and actually it's funny because the last time I recorded a good 50, there was a 56 that I scored back in March 24th. It wasn't until, what is this? April, May, June 19th, almost 3 months later, I finally hit another 50, and I got another 56. But then here, and then almost a month later after that, here in July, I was able to get a 57, a 54, a 55, and then a 59. So I'm doing decent. I wish I would have gotten a 50. Here on a live stream, but when I'm practicing by just doing a recorded session and playing, I'm scoring those 50s. But you want to talk about humbling or an experience of humiliation, or I think humbling is the better word for it. Is that 3-month period of not scoring above 50? 3 months, a 3-month lull where it's just nothing would work. And those are some of the conversations that I was having with Shortstop on Pool as to I wish I knew what the missing link was besides not missing, right? I try to dig as deep as I possibly can, and then come to find out that one of the things that I finally started doing was practicing the breaks, like I did earlier in the stream, where I was practicing hitting each section of the rack on one side, hitting the second row, the third row, and then the fourth row. And you can see that hitting that fourth row the way that I've done is a little bit more consistent as far as keeping the rack going, just so long as I don't miss. And then after that, doing the end patterns and stuff. And I'm always trying to play with the exact same mindset, pick my patterns appropriately. And then, of course, what ends up getting exposed is my cue ball control sometimes is a little lacking. So if I can get it all figured out, then I eventually think it's going to happen. Let's see here. Crazy Taco X, he says, have you been playing BCA and APA? If so, do you record both or just APA? I only record my APA matches. Because when I was doing BCA was more of a round robin type thing. So I couldn't when I play my match, I'd have to go sit until it's my turn again, and it's more of a hassle to try to deal with, to make sure that everybody knows that the camera's running. Plus, I can't guarantee when we played BCA, we played on 2 different tables at the same time as we're doing our round robin matches. So I'm not always guaranteed to be on the same table. Of course, I can fix that by bringing more than one camera, because I do have more than one camera. But it was just more of a hassle for that. But got something new coming up. I still have some old matches that I have to review, but I'm gonna be switching to another league area here soon. So hopefully you're gonna get to see some different opponents, provided of course that they're gonna be okay with being on camera. We'll see, because I'm joining a double Jeopardy league, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to be playing both 8-ball and 9-ball, and I'm trying to structure my team to where I can play 9-ball. So hopefully we're going to be seeing some 9-ball matches here. But the next session doesn't start until August 13th, so it's gonna be a bit. And then there is a 9-ball league that I'm thinking about playing in Round Rock at Skinny Bob's, which is where the Texas State Open is at. Tony, this is our mutual friend Jude runs that league up there, and I've been talking to him about what does it take to play there, what are the rules, blah blah blah. So yeah, and if I'm lucky, again, same scenario to where people just don't mind me bringing my camera and recording my matches, you might get to see some BCA 9-ball matches, and they're basically handicapped by our Fargos. So hopefully that'll allow me to either improve or improve my Fargo as well, and it'll give me more of an opportunity to be able to play on some 9-footers, which I've been wanting to play on 9-footers for God knows how long. Josh, you want to know if I'm playing in the Texas State Open? I am. I actually need to check and see when the tune-up. There's a Texas State Open tune-up that I probably want to go ahead and get registered into as well, so that way I can go down there and get some practice in. Thomas, yes, there's going to be that. My buddy Jesse is coming back into town. If y'all remember Jaybird, the last time we did some live streams and we were practicing 9-ball, we're going to be doing that again. He'll be coming down here again. So yeah, I'll definitely be streaming my some practice sessions of 9-ball. Basically, I need to really try to set some sort of schedule, at least with live streaming, because I certainly don't want this lull of how long did I go before I did anything. Let's see here. My last published short, because I was doing a bunch of shorts and Facebook Reels. That last one was on what? June 26th. That was almost a month ago. Almost a month ago. When was my last live stream? June 24th. A whole month almost went by of me not doing anything, not doing any shorts, not doing any long form videos or a live stream. And I certainly don't want to do that again. I gotta sit down and actually come up with some sort of schedule as to when I could try to make long form videos, short form videos, and do some live streams, so that way that this month break doesn't happen again. But we'll just have to wait and see. What's going on, Ron Johnson? You're saying Double Jeopardy is a fun league. That's what you've shot in APA for 15 years now. I've always heard about it, and I've always been wanting to start playing 9-ball again. So the fact that I have to construct a team that allows me to play it, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Well, at any rate, I want to thank everybody for being here. I've been streaming for almost 4 hours, which is usual. So can always appreciate that. Let's see here. I don't know how many people I got left, but I do have 64 likes. Looks like there's 45 of y'all left on YouTube. And it looks like I've got about 5 left on Facebook. I want to thank everybody for being here. And if you haven't done so already, please give the stream a thumbs up, especially as the stream is starting to end. If you're on Facebook, I would also really appreciate it if you shared the stream to your Facebook profile so your friends and family can get to know me and possibly get interested in pool. And then, of course, maybe share it to your favorite pool groups. And then, of course, liking the stream on YouTube helps me out in the YouTube algorithm, so that way more people can discover the stream after the fact. Because I will be going back into my stream on YouTube and time-stamping everything, so that way you can kind of jump around the stream and not have to watch it completely from beginning to end. Unfortunately, I don't think a feature like that exists for Facebook yet that I'm aware of, where you can timestamp and jump around. So if you happen to watch this on Facebook, you do have to kind of watch it from beginning to end. But I can at least maybe put a comment as to what begins what where. Like maybe that's something I could do, and you just have to look at the progress bar and find the actual timestamp of what you want to jump to. That's at least maybe something I can try to do. So, but I do have a treat for everybody. I definitely wanted to go live tonight to try to get back into the swing of things, because tomorrow, where's he at? Tomorrow, Josh, my 8-ball Scotch doubles partner that I went to Vegas with, he'll be coming over, and we're finally going to be reviewing the APA 8-ball Scotch doubles matches that we were streaming while we were in Vegas. I think right now I've got a total of 5 of them, and I think to start things off, we're only going to review 2 of them. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So you're going to have my buddy here. He is a lower skill level player than me. He was currently ranked a 3 when we qualified, but before we left, he was a 4, and he's been playing pretty good as a strong 4. So you're going to get to meet one of my teammates, and then you're going to get to hear 2 different perspectives on what we can remember that we did while we were in Vegas, from a skill level 4 perspective and from a skill level 7 perspective. So tune in tomorrow for that, because it's going to be a lot of fun. And then hopefully sometime in the near future, we'll be able to review the other matches as well. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and be signing off. I want to thank everybody again for being here. Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, check out the pinned comment if you want a chance to possibly win your very own ICA training system. I do have a contest going on for that right now. Since I was given the ICA training system, the only thing I had to do was purchase a projector. So I'm paying that forward by buying somebody their own ICA training system, but you have to pay for the projector just like I did. So if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, please check the pinned comment that I have on YouTube, and check out the post that I put on my community tab for all the details of how you can possibly win, because I only currently have 10 entries. I would have expected a whole lot more. So check it out. That contest is probably going to be going on for about another month before I actually select the winner. And in case anybody's wondering, I did forget about my last JFlower giveaway. The winner did contact me, and the winner lives in Africa. So that's going to be a lot of fun to do shipping. But the winner did request that Earl Strickland autograph his cue. So I had to send his cue in case to Earl Strickland. So right now that stuff is on his way over to Earl. So hopefully he'll be autographing that stuff here soon, and then he'll be shipping it out. So hopefully when the winner does get his stuff, I don't know how long it's going to take to be able to ship over to Africa and go through customs and all that as well. But when he hopefully finally gets his prize, he'll be able to take some pictures or some videos so we can actually see him enjoy his stuff. Okay, so I think that's about it. One last time. Thanks everybody for being here, and have a good night.